Today, we're excited to be joined by the team from Morph to talk about the technology they're building and how our new partnership can bring more real world blockchain use cases to the Philippines. As crypto adoption continues to grow, we're of course seeing increasing demand for infrastructure that makes digital assets faster, more affordable, and easier to use for everyday payments, remittances, and financial applications. And that's exactly what we're exploring in today's conversation. Before we get started, I'd love to welcome our guest, Kate Wong, the Liquidity and DeFi Lead at Morph. Kate, thanks so much for joining us here today. Before we dive into the discussion, could you give our audience a quick introduction about yourself? Tell us about your role at Morph.
Of course. As you have introduced, I'm the DeFi Liquidity Lead of Morph Network. And just to give a super short and high-level introduction of Morph, Morph itself, it's a CKEVM Layer 2. Finality is settled on Ethereum. And more of how it's different is that we're a settlement network for real-world payments. We provide the underlying infrastructure that payment businesses built on top, handling payment, value transfer, chain money movement at consumer and enterprise scale.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Kate, so much for that. We're excited to have you here, and let's jump into our first question. So to kick us off, we at Coins are very excited to have this alignment. From Morph's perspective, how does partnering with a regulated exchange like Coins fit into your broader mission for driving real-world crypto adoption in the Philippines?
Well, first of all, actually, Philippines is a very important region for, I think, the entire crypto industry. The last time I checked, Chainalysis and a bunch of publisher ranked, I think, top 10 or top 9 in terms of crypto adoption for Philippines. And Coins.ph, of course, I think it's one of the first one that got the regulated license in the space, and also with a lot of the stablecoin flow between Pexo, fiat, and stablecoins. Hence, this partnership is very important to us as a payment infrastructure because we want the corridor unplugged to be globalized, and Philippines is a very important region for us.
Okay, thanks so much for the answer. I love the answer. We know retail users hate high gas fees. I personally hate high gas fees and also slow transactions during market spikes. How does Morph's technical architecture guarantee lower fees and reliable uptimes for everyday users when network demand surges?
I think not to go into too much tech detail to bore everyone, but I think right now we're sitting at an average of 0.003 in terms of US dollar per transactions and 0.3 second Morph chain finality, and then approximately 1 second block time. I think that is extremely competitive, even if you compare to other layer 2 that's popular, no name mentioned here. Also, want to shout out to our tech team. Recently, we did another round of tech upgrade that shipped a sequencer consensus upgrade to mainnet, further preparing us for more traffic, more volume that's upcoming. Hopefully, these metrics are still very competitive as we move on and build down the road.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. If ever there are any other tech upgrades in the future, let us know. Happy to cross-promote this to our community. Okay, next question on our side. With the growing number of L1s and L2s out there right now, what makes Morph specifically architected to handle high-frequency consumer payments versus other chains in the market?
I think also to your earlier question on gas fee, which also is relevant here, when you transact on Morph, let's say you're a merchant, you want your customer to pay through Morph, you actually can subsidize the gas fee. So you can get entirely gas fee free, and also you can pay in the case that it's not subsidized, you can actually pay them in different tokens, not just BGB token on Morph. In this case, you can pay it in stablecoin. Let's say you're already transacting in USDT, USDC. The transaction gas can actually be in that native currency. So I think that as a user perspective, at least for myself, is a huge unlock. I don't have to hold another extra token in the wallet. And also, one thing to mention is also tying very hand-to-hand to Coins.ph being one of the biggest regulated exchange in Philippines, is that we on Morph we have a lot of compliance infrastructure such as Chainalysis, analytics that actively monitor transactions to make sure things happening on there is compliant as well.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks so much for the answer. Next question on my side. Decentralization is obviously huge for Web3 security. Can you explain to our community how Morph's decentralized sequencer network projects protect our everyday users from things like MEVs, front running, and sudden fee spikes?
Got it. I just want to make it very clear that we're not 100%. I don't call us a decentralized sequencer yet. Just want to be very full and clear. We are probably one of the very few layer 2 that is still actively moving towards decentralization of the sequencer. In that regard, I think I briefly mentioned before the recent upgrade on July 28th that our tech team did, which it's a move towards that direction as well. But in terms of the actual upgrade itself, a little bit of detail, not going into too much tech, is that we right now have an active sequencer with hot standby replicas and followers in seconds. So hopefully in the very near future, we can come back and let you guys know that we're a decentralized sequencer.
Okay, that's very exciting. Looking forward to when that time comes. Okay, so I think we've been focusing a little bit more about the Morph ecosystem in the previous questions. Now going on to BGB, we just listed BGB on Coins, which gives our millions of users native access to it. So for those tuning in who are new to the ecosystem, can you explain how BGB acts as the fuel for the Morph network?
I think the standard answer that I always give is that, oh, it's the gas token. You can pay gas in BGB, and it's governance. You can do voting on various decisions as well. And then you can stake BGB to generate yield. And then there's tons of perks from our eco partners as well. But I think what makes BGB different, and perhaps together with Morph, is that we, as a relatively new chain, we don't have to issue another new token. We don't have to burn through a lot of treasury to sustain the new token price. You as a user coming into Morph and investing time and effort in the new blockchain, you don't have to scare that we run out of money to keep the price keep pumping and then fulfill expectation, and then later on it crashes. Because BGB has been around for 4 or 5 years already. Its price is very stable with a relatively big market cap as well. I hope that actually lessen up the complexity of user coming in. You can just focus on our actual features and products on Morph.
Agreed. And of course now with what we're seeing here in the Philippines, I'm not sure of what you guys are seeing elsewhere, but more and more Filipinos are looking at blockchain and seeing how they can leverage the blockchain technology for real world use cases. So here in the Philippines, remittances and merchant payments are massive. Could you share how will this integration lower the costs and speed up the settlement time for Filipinos sending stablecoins back home or even paying daily vendors?
I think the last time I checked, traditional method, be it physical or digital but non-crypto, they are still, even the lowest fee are like single digit percentage. I think to go below single digit, and very important for smaller transactions that happens globally, and sometimes multiple corridor, you have to pay multiple fee as well. Hence, right now with BGB, for example, on Morph chain listed on Coins.ph, you can on-off ramp with your local fiat in Philippines with peso and through Coins.ph. And then hopefully when you're on there, you can select BGB as one of the token of choice for your transactions. And hopefully more token on Morph chain is going to be in the near future coming on to Coins.ph as well. So hopefully stable coins as well. So people would have more option to and from Philippine corridor can transact through Morph and through Coins.ph.
Yes, definitely. Honestly, we can have a separate discussion about that, how we can support more assets on Morph in our Coins wallet. So going back, our users are already depositing and trading BGB on Coins.ph today. What can you tease us in terms of upcoming technical or commercial integrations between Coins and Morph moving forward?
One of the very exciting launch that we just did, it's a Morph boron lending vault that's directly offering, I think, 17 or 16% USDC yield and I think up to 3% BTC yield. But that is right now with another exchange, no name mentioned. But I think a lot of the on-chain infrastructure, together with a lot of the traditional asset manager coming into the space, like JP Morgan, Susquehanna's, they can offer a lot of capital efficient yield on chain that perhaps happens on Morph and can be plugged into Coins.ph as well, offering to your audience, which we can discuss separately as well.
Okay, happy to have that conversation. And finally, on my side, for the local Philippine businesses or business owners and merchants watching today, what does this collaboration mean for them? And if they, in the context that they want to start accepting digital assets or stablecoin payments?
At least for now, we're not plugged into Coins.ph on offer directly on Morph the blockchain yet. So as of today, if you want to use Morph Network, you still have to go to your Coins.ph account and on off ramp there and select Morph Network as the payment corridor. But I think in the near future, what we're working on as a team is that if you go to our website, we don't just want to be a blockchain. We want to be tools and product that people can actually use already out of the box. Hopefully very soon people don't need to know what a blockchain is to use more products. And I think in the near future, since Philippines being a very important region for us, we will be plugging into more tools, and then hopefully a lot of the more payment features such as checkouts and just directly logging into wallet with email addresses and global transactions, gas sponsorships, all those can be plugged into Coins.ph on-off-ramp corridor as well in the near future.
All right. Yeah. Hopefully we can partner much broader than just, of course, the BGB listing. Happy to discuss that separately and see what else we can bring into the Philippines, how we can leverage the usage of blockchain, and of course, through Morph. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have for us today. Kate, thanks again for your time and joining us here today, talking about more about what you guys are doing and also what's upcoming in your pipeline. It's been a great learning session for both us and for our community. And if you have anything else to say, feel free to have like a maybe last sentence that you can leave to our watchers.
I guess just to be cheesy, follow us on Twitter at Morph Network and website Morph.network. We're always shipping a lot of product ready to use on the website.
All right. Thanks everyone again for tuning in, and hope to see you in our next AMA session.